The civilization of chocolate marks the belays of the historic events related to the discovery of the New World, and it contributes to narrate the multiple memory underlying European identity traits, especially the equity capital of long-lasting knowledge and traditions. As we know, the earliest records of cocoa consumption come from the Maya and the Aztecs through Ferdinando Cortés and his conquistadores. But already in 1502, Christopher Columbus intercepted a Mayan commercial canoe loaded with cocoa beans off Ganaja, now Honduras. Yet, the first to taste chocolate was an Olmec, who lived about 4,000 years ago in the swampy forests of the Gulf of Mexico, the current state of Tabasco. The historical misconception derives from the fact that the first chocolate to be offered to the conquistadores came from the Aztecs. Cortés himself told Emperor Charles V that as a sign of welcome, Montezuma II, the Aztec king, had offered him a divine drink that gives strength and fights fatigue. The Spanish are the ones to have the merit of having used sugar to sweeten the bitterness of the Aztecs' cocoa and to have founded the historical dawn of the European civilization of chocolate, which spread to the European courts, starting from the 17th century with the ritual of chocolate. The aristocratic and ecclesiastic hierarchies became inebriated with chocolate, but the works of naturalists, doctors, missioners, travelers, and poets were also inspired. And in fact, over the centuries, chocolate has always moved between history and legend, between the sacred and magic, as far as to inspire auteur pages, music sheets, and paintings by artists. Chocolate became the subject of witty discussions and learned treatises, inducing not only pleasures for the noble palates, but also investigations of doctors on the effects of the drink and medicine. The heated debates between monastic orders on the controversial intake of chocolate during Lenten fasting were also memorable. Finally, the debated issue resulted in the 17th century assertion, liquidum non frangit ienum, meaning it was possible to drink liquids, but not to eat solids. Chocolate not only as a pleasure for gluttony, but also a conviviality ritual in the royal palaces and gardens among silver sets and ceramics. Not only, chocolate also involves the experience of those who handle it, characterizing territories, cities, and villages in the definition of this artisan's skill, imbued with taste and creativity, also when, as time goes by, industrial processes and the urban middle-class consumption cancelled the Ancien regime's elitist chocolate custom. Indeed, starting from the 19th century, the industrial processes brought down the cost of chocolate, and its consumption spread on a large scale. Actually, chocolate had a decisive role in the acknowledgement of women's labor rights. Precisely in Luisa Spagnoli's chocolate factory, Italy's first memorable nursery was opened. In the 20th century, children's faces captured the desire that is lit by chocolate, and therefore the child icon in commercials became the perfect image for expressing the amazing mix of desires and pleasures that chocolate arouses. Yet, only the network of museums of chocolate can feed the excitement for the understanding and the enhancement of cultural kinship that are related to the traditions, knowledge, and techniques of the many chocolate artisans. In the reconstruction of an 18th century chocolate factory, visitors and tourists stand in amazement while crossing the threshold that smells like spices and history. A special place to live an adventurous experience and discover imaginary places. The museum experience offers the possibility of magically retracing the courses and the maritime routes in the ancient search of exotic fragrances and flavors. One is literally taken by the ingeniousness of the master chocolatiers, who are capable of orchestrating the original melody incorporated in chocolate. Their skillful hands blend the chocolate on the previously heated volcanic stone. Their knowledge is an art. In this regard, let us remember the words of the Spanish scholar Marcos Antonio de Orellana, 1731-1813, who describes the art of European chocolate manufacturing, also in convents. "Oh, divine chocolate! They grind you on their knees. They crush you with their hands while praying, and they drink you with their eyes to the sky." Chocolate is an explosion of the senses. Portraits by artists in figural arts inspire the irresistible tactility of the furtive touch of chocolate, and gently fleet. The civilization of chocolate passes through Europe, the continent that has created an amazing harmony between the city's features and the multiple versatility of chocolate, which materialized in museum exhibitions of great emotional impact for our intense sensory experiences. In particular, the new generations are the main characters of the cocoa and chocolate universe in the theme halls of the European museums part of our network. Chocolate is the sweet that is loved the most. It arouses wonder and curiosity to discover its long journey through history, culture, and geography. Chocolate as a bridge between the two hemispheres of the globe, a migrant food and a cultural contamination between peoples. Cocoa beans visually and emotionally recall tropical forests, where men and women, and in some cases children, collect the pods from the cocoa trees and then extract the seeds, which are put through the long process of fermentation and drying. All of us chocolate lovers who have become connoisseurs of its history and more aware of its precious value, through our network want to promote global issues for the environmental protection and ethical and cultural development of cocoa and its processes. We are convinced in doing so, thanks to the experience we have gained in supporting cooperation projects in collaboration with institutions in our countries to promote the enhancement of policies for the working conditions of the populations producing cocoa. Our ethical manifesto is our charter and the key to remind all consumers and producers that before chocolate, there are cocoa and many other values to learn about.